Have you ever watched a superstar athlete and just thought, how? How do they do the impossible? Jump higher, run faster, or bounce back from an injury that would have the rest of us on the couch for months? Well, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. It's not magic, it's science. And today, we're pulling back the curtain on the incredible world that makes it all happen: sports medicine.
And that's our mission today. We are ripping the lid off the world of sports medicine, because it is so much more than just, ice packs and taping ankles.
It's a whole, comprehensive, stacked team, and they're dedicated to one thing: optimizing the human body for peak performance.
My name is Brian Wiley. I'm a physical therapist. I am the clinical director for Apex Athletic Performance on UG Street.
My name is Stephen Bendigopal. I'm the manager of sports performance here at Apex.
My name is Joshua Hawkins. I am a exercise physiologist and strength and conditioning coach here at Apex Athletic Performance. Athletes come to Apex to get to the next level, and a lot of times what they're looking for is the focus on the individualized training that they maybe can't receive at their school or with their team. So we can really focus on the areas that you might be neglecting or falling behind in at your sport or at your school.
The Apex facility is really a world-class facility. There's not really very many facilities like it. We have all the top-of-the-line equipment, space. We have a plan and a program that's standardized that can address whatever issues you have. We have a combination of experienced strength coaches, physical therapists. We have technology that is unparalleled and unmatched.
Accelerated rehab is something that we offer at the clinic. When we have post-op surgical knees, shoulders, ankles, and these athletes are trying to get to the next level, we offer a wider range of equipment and activities that they can do, things that kind of help push the athlete to the return to play that they're trying to get to. The more that we prepare these athletes for return to play, the less chance of re-injury when they do return to play. So our goal is to train them to the level that when they hit the field, they're not apprehensive, they're not scared, they trust in the recovery process.
At Apex, our programs are tailored individually to the specific athlete, and we have one-on-one coaching, which allows us to really teach the athlete. It helps them to learn about their body and how to move safely and effectively, so that when they walk away from here, they're equipped with the skills that they need to continue to train at the top level.
The biggest thing that we do for people at Apex is we really get to know them. We get to know their injury history, we get to know their sports history, we get to know where they're coming from, we get to know who they are, and then we can try and help them get to where they're going. We have incredible relationships with the athletes, and because we get to know them so well, we can really help create a map to where they want to go.
We see athletes ranging from 10 years old to 20, 25. We see some really active older adults in the range of 30 to 60, 65 years old. Our job is to kind of cater to what the individual needs are, find the strengths and weaknesses, get as much as we can as back to normal, and then push athletes to the extent that they can't get somewhere else.
I think one of our biggest advantages is the medical staff that we have here on campus. So we have a couple sports physical therapists here. We also have doctors close by and athletic trainers that we can always consult. If an athlete comes in with a concern or an injury, that athlete's going to immediately get sent to one of the physical therapists to kind of get triaged and checked out. So no stone goes unturned.
It's a good group of people to work here. We're all former athletes. We try to create an environment that's fun for the kids, welcoming. We want everybody to feel, as if they're family, as if they're friends of ours. Feel like they had a good time, and then also leave with a heavy sweat, make sure they feel like they got what they needed.
Okay, so picture this. It's September 26, 2021. The Baltimore Ravens are down by 1 point against the Detroit Lions. There are 3 seconds left on the clock. They need a miracle, right? So kicker Justin Tucker lines up for a 66-yard field goal. That's the longest in NFL history. The snap is good, the kick is up, it hits the crossbar and bounces over. It's good! The place goes absolutely nuts. Just a totally superhuman feat of athleticism. On the line. So you have to ask, how does a person even do that? Is it just a lifetime of practice and pure raw talent? I mean, of course, that's a huge piece of the puzzle. But what if I told you there's an entire team of geniuses behind that one single kick? That's right. The real secret to that kind of peak performance isn't just one person. It's a whole squad of specialists, a support crew working behind the scenes to fine-tune every single little detail. This is the team behind the team. And that whole crew, They operate under the banner of sports medicine. Put simply, it's this massive field of medicine that's all about physical activity and sports. You can really think of them as the ultimate support crew, completely dedicated to keeping athletes healthy, safe, and performing at their absolute.
That covers a ton of different specialties, and they're all working together to support the athlete.
And under that umbrella, you've basically got two main divisions. You can think of it just like a football team's offense and defense. On offense, you have performance enhancement. This is the level up squad. These are the pros who help an athlete reach their absolute peak. And then on defense, you've got injury care and management. These are the fixers, the ones who get athletes back in the game when they get hurt. So, let's meet the offense first, okay? These are the specialists on the performance squad. They're the ones who help turn really great athletes into absolute legends. First up on the roster, we've got the biomechanist. This person is basically the physics and engineering expert for the human body. A biomechanist. They analyze every single component of an athlete's movement to make it more efficient, more powerful. So think back to that 66-yard kick. They would break down the exact angle of Tucker's leg, the speed of his plant foot, the precise point of impact on the ball, all of it just to squeeze out every possible inch of distance, while also understanding the mechanics of it to prevent an injury. All right, next up on the performance squad, the exercise physiologist. So if the biomechanist is the engineer, the exercise physiologist is the one who tunes the engine. They hook athletes up to all this wild, high-tech gear to measure everything from their heart function to their metabolism. Their whole job is to find an athlete's limits and then design a perfectly tailored plan to help them smash right through them, building strength, endurance, and flexibility. Of course, you can't have a high-performance engine without some high-performance fuel, right? And that's exactly where the sports nutritionist comes in. And listen, this is way more than just eat your vegetables. A sports nutritionist might calculate the exact grams of protein an athlete needs after a workout for muscle repair, or plan a pre-game meal that gives them sustained energy without causing a crash. They literally use food as a tool for peak performance and faster recovery, because what an athlete eats is just as critical as how they train. Okay, let's just pause for a second. Quick brain break. Imagine you had this whole super squad, the biomechanists, the physiologists, the nutritionists, and they were all working for you. What would you have them work on? Getting your vertical jump high enough to finally dunk, shaving a few minutes off your marathon time, or maybe perfecting that golf swing? What's your dream level up? All right, so that's the level up crew. But, sports can be brutal, and injuries, they happen. And that's when the other side of the team takes the field. The specialists, who help athletes get back in the game. And the very first person on the scene is almost always the athletic trainer. These are the healthcare pros who are always there, right on the front lines. And they're not just taping ankles, They're involved in the entire process, from prevention and immediate on-field treatment all the way to long-term rehab. You'll see them on the sidelines pretty much everywhere, from high school games to the NFL and even in the military. And working side by side with them, especially during that long road to recovery, is the physical therapist. A physical therapist's mission is to guide an athlete through that whole recovery journey. It's a really careful process. They start with the basics, just restoring normal function. Then they work on managing the pain. As things start to heal, they begin rebuilding strength and flexibility. But honestly, maybe the most crucial step is that last one. Teaching the athlete how to move and strengthen their body to make sure that same injury doesn't happen again.
Then you have the specialists who are focused on more conservative structural management.
Like the chiropractor.
Mm-hmm. They're dealing with the chronic structural fallout from all those highly repetitive, high-force actions, the wear and tear.
They're focused on conservative management for neuromusculoskeletal disorders. Exactly. Think about the strain of kicking a football 66 yards. That's a massive asymmetrical force.
Right.
If that kicker had a slightly misaligned hip or a rotation in their spine from doing that motion thousands of times, that is the exact issue a chiropractor addresses. They use manual and other therapeutic modalities to keep the whole kinetic chain firing correctly.
So it's about keeping the chassis sound, but once an injury is diagnosed and needs a higher level medical strategy, that's when the physician assistant, the PA, becomes absolutely essential.
Right. And most people know PAs as mid-level practitioners who work with physicians. But the speed and scope of what they do in sports medicine is pretty unique.
How so?
Well, in a normal clinic, a PA might be following a standard protocol. But in a sports environment, they're dealing with rapid, high-impact trauma. They have to make these near-instantaneous calls under intense pressure.
Their duties are really high value then.
Indispensable in this context. They're performing physical exams, ordering rapid lab work, developing bespoke treatment plans that have to balance recovery speed with safety, and this is key, they can write prescriptions.
So they're really the anchor.
They're often the day-to-day medical anchor for the entire team, which frees up the supervising physician to focus on the big strategic decisions.
And wrapping up this immediate physical care team is the field of orthotics and prosthetics.
Yeah, and this is where you see high-level engineering meet human anatomy to restore, or in some cases, enhance mobility.
This is not off-the-shelf stuff from the drugstore.
No, not at all. We are talking about custom-tailored solutions. The orthotic specialist develops custom bracing for a damaged joint. They create custom inserts for shoes to correct tiny defects in someone's gait, and they precisely size and fit all orthotics and prosthetics.
The image that comes to mind is a Paralympic track athlete with those specialized running blades.
That is the perfect example. That blend of composite materials, dynamic response, and biomechanical precision is the direct result of the specialty. Their whole job is to
At the offense and the defense, these incredible pros who keep athletes at the absolute top of their game. And if you're thinking this all sounds pretty fascinating, here's the cool part. This world isn't just for superstar athletes. There might just be a spot on the roster for you. Seriously, if you love sports but aren't planning on going pro, check it out. There are so many ways to be part of this world. You could be a health coach, an athletic director, or even a wellness manager for a big company. There are a ton of incredible careers that keep you right in the middle of all the action. Which brings us to our final, and maybe most important point. Whether we're talking about a record-breaking moment of triumph or a grueling recovery from a bad injury, the big takeaway is this: no athlete stands alone.
The concept of the circle of care brings all these professionals together for the athlete's well-being. The circle of care includes all individuals involved in the comprehensive care of the athlete, from family to specialized healthcare providers. The primary role of the circle of care is to promote lifelong fitness and wellness, ensuring the athlete's health is always prioritized. Central team members have direct, often daily access to the athlete and are the first step when an injury occurs. This includes the athletic trainer, coaches, and team physician. Peripheral team members assist with more specific injury or illness needs, like the sports psychologist, nutritionist, or specialized physical therapists.
The Justin Sports Medicine program is really a unique program in any kind of professional field. The Justin Sports Medicine team is something that an organization, the Justin Boot Company, funds the whole thing. The people that work in the program, the physicians, and the vast majority of the local athletic trainers that we use are all volunteer. We have athletic trainers who are paid to be on the road, but that's necessary to be able to make the program work the way it's supposed to. But there are a lot of people that show up and do this simply because they love the sport.
The time it takes to drive to a rodeo to get set up, be 2 hours early, stay 2 hours late, take call, make sure the guys are getting off to the next rodeo safely, making sure that they have what they need, whether it's an extra roll of tape or it's advice or, hey, are you guys okay to drive? Do you need a place to stay? just making sure the welfare of our rodeo athletes are taken care of. There's so much give in this program. You probably have some of the most unselfish people that I've ever been around. And that's what makes this thing so rewarding, is because all of us are doing it because we're here with our heart, not because of financial gain, not because we want to have our picture taken, but because we honestly, truly care about the people that come in this trailer.
They keep us together all year long. They take care of us when we're down and out. And even there's days that I didn't really think myself that I could get up and do my job. And them guys, they get us prepped and ready to go and taped up. And they help us through the hard times, through the easy times. They're there 24/7. Can't say enough about Justin Boots and the sports medicine team.
I got to the point where I didn't want to enter rodeo if they weren't going to be there, because I couldn't take my hand by myself to where I could even ride with it. And then even when I tore my groin, they done a lot to help me get where I could ride again. And I don't hesitate to go in there, because them guys can dang sure help us to be at the top of our game. And I greatly appreciate it.
And the miles of tape and elasticon they just give us every year. That's a huge expense. Mine then especially. I use 2 rolls of tape and a roll of elasticon just to get my arm ready to get on a bucking horse. And them guys just, oh, here you go, take whatever you need. And without them, this really wouldn't be possible. They have made rodeo so much easier for contestants to be able to rodeo from whenever they want to start to the end of the year. There's no way you can get through a full season without the Justin Sports Medicine team.
Those guys, whether it was Tandy stitching up my head when I ran into a fence at Mesquite, Texas when I was team roping, don't need to talk about that. Or like when my dad got a horse flipped over on him, he's just a contract act. Well, no, you're not a competitor, you're not allowed in here. No. Bill Ziegler and all them guys would take care of my dad and help him. Even when he got older, they would do physical therapy with him at the rodeos. And that is Justin Boots, how they've went above and beyond to help the cowboy. It separates them, in my opinion.
It really does take a village, an entire team of highly skilled professionals all working towards one goal. Because behind every GOAT, every greatest of all time, there's a sports medicine team that helped make them unbreakable. So now the only question left is, what spot on that team would you want?
Your next task is to explore this concept further. Choose a famous athlete and research the members of their circle of care, categorizing them as central or peripheral team members.